Kevin. So pretty exciting. What's coming up for the city of Pittsburgh? I mean, Pittsburgh and Carroll Shelby are pretty much synonymous, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he was born in Leesburg, just right outside of Pittsburgh, and then made just kind of Pittsburgh has adopted him from that, and he kind of felt the same way in so many ways. You know, in his latter years of his life, he had a ranch just south of Pittsburgh, and really that was one of the first places that I really got to know Carroll was. Going down and visiting him there at his ranch here in Pittsburgh. So yeah, Pittsburgh and Carroll Shelby, synonymous, one and the same. Absolutely.
It seems to me a statue is almost overdue of Carroll, and this. I guess it took a little while to get the ball rolling on this, right?
Yeah, I think that's one of those things that everyone knew about Carroll. They knew about his connection to Pittsburgh, and I think now is the optimal time. We're just really excited about the statute and what's going on with that. So
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. And then you knew Carroll, right?
I did know Carroll. I met Carroll in 2009 whenever I came to Northeast Texas Community College, and an college administrator, and the Carroll Shelby Automotive Technology Program was one of the programs that fell into the group in which I got to work with. And so as soon as I arrived on campus, knowing Carroll Shelby, the icon and of the name, et cetera, I knew, hey, I've got to figure out what's this all about. So with that, I almost immediately began to research kind of how did the Carroll Shelby Automotive Technology Program at Northeast Texas Community College come about. And so, as it turns out, in 2007, which is a couple of years before my arrival there at the college, Carroll had reached out to the college and wanted to talk about the Automotive Technology Program. And so that's really what he was all about. He he just met with administrators, and he asked basically three questions during that conversation. He said, how many students are in the program? What do you teach? And then ultimately, and how much did it cost? So that real simple, and really that's the way that Carroll was. It was just simple and direct. The college answered all those questions, and his response was, how can we get more students in the program? And I'm amazed at the value. So with that, the response was we can always use student scholarships, and he said that's what I really want to do. I want to give back. I want to give back to the community that where I started, and I can see myself in so many of those young people who are trying to get started, struggling with finances, but they're willing to work hard. He said, I just want to give them an education in a trade that they can take and they can make a quality living that allows them and their family to get ahead. And that's really the foundation of Carroll and Northeast Texas Community College, the Carroll Shelby Automotive Technology Program. And really that's the foundation of what Carroll's heart was. Since that time in 2009, I spent a lot of time with Carroll. When he would come to Pittsburgh, he would call, and like I said earlier, we'd go down to his ranch. We would pick him up down there, and all he would want to do is just drive around and just talk about the students. He cared about people. He wanted to know, what was going on in their lives. How were they being successful? What were they going to do whenever they graduated? So he wanted to know about individuals. He wanted to know about the program as a whole, and then how could he continue to support the program. So really, Carroll was just a generous individual. He was a compassionate individual. He was a individual that wanted to give back to the city of Pittsburgh and to our entire community. And then, just in general, I would say just one of the nicest guys that you would ever meet.
Yeah, he's and I've always heard that about him. I never did meet him, but I always heard he was just a regular guy.
You
never know.
You wouldn't, and that was one of the dynamics. Was when he would call, he would say, we don't need to go, and we're not going to go flashy downtown and all of that. He had his traditional, often would still wear his traditional black vest, but just get in the vehicle and just want to just drive around and just hear about how things were going. A very simple but yet complex individual, for sure.
Yeah, and I guess the last Cobra that he ever bought, the last Shelby that he ever bought, is here in Pittsburgh, right?
It is. It is the last Shelby. It's a GT350H, which is the Hertz edition. So what happened was that he kind of after he learned about the program, he came out to the program. He would oftentimes not only drive around and ask us to kind of just talk through his morning, but he would ask us to drive him out to the college and chat with students. He loved to do that as well. And then one day he just finally just said, you need a Shelby, and I'm going to make that happen. And so he searched and searched and searched, and he ultimately found this 1968 350H, and ultimately he purchased the vehicle, had it delivered to the college. Ultimately, we were able to restore it, and it is on display at the museum here in Pittsburg, Texas.
Yeah, that's just awesome.
Yeah.
That he, that he was just such a giver.
He was. Yeah, it was just generous. Never anything. Never really asked for anything in return. Sure didn't want to be in the spotlight of those kind of things. Of course, one of the things that he really contributed to us was his name. And that's one of the things that has allowed for our college and for his legacy to continue. So we've had the opportunity now to sell a vehicle at Barrett Jackson Automotive at the auction under the celebrity auction of his name, and we've just had numerous individuals and students' lives and their families have been impacted in such positive ways because he lended his name to the automotive program at the college, and with that, nothing in return. Just wanted to be able to give back, and that's really where just a huge, big-hearted gentleman. So yeah, so very appreciative.
Right.
Wonderful.
So, anything you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it. Just we're thankful. I was thankful to know Carroll, and most individuals knew Mr. Shelby. And that was one of the things that when you got to know Carroll, and really on the onset, he was like, "No, I'm just Carroll," and really that summarized his demeanor and how he wanted to be thought of, and his legacy as well.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Good.